Today we're going to be making some high protein peanut butter brownie bars. The recipe we're using today makes about 6 giant bars, each containing about 20 grams of protein and 4 grams of carbs. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to mix together 70 grams of pork, which you can get from your local supermarket, and 70 grams of natural peanut butter. We're just going to mix them over the hob. So there's 70 grams of pork. This melts quite quickly. And we've got a natural peanut butter, so it's important to have a look at the ingredients. You don't want any added sugars or salt in there. 70 grams of peanut butter. And we're just going to mix those together. This is kind of as the batter substitute of a normal brownie. And the quark's quite high in protein as well, which is always good. And just mix them together until they're all melted. So when that's melted down, the next thing we want to do is, if you've got a super sweet tooth, like me, pop in just a couple of tablespoons of a natural base sweetness, such as stevia. And because we're going to make the brownies quite rich, it's just to balance it out so it's not too bitter. So once you've got your stevia in, you want about 50 grams of the highest percent cocoa powder that you can find. So you don't want any cocoa powder with any sugar in. So we're going to pop 50 grams in as well. More. And just pop that in the pan as well. And as well as that, you can get these really good toffee drops, which are sugar-free. And just to sweeten it a little bit more, pop some toffee drops in, just a couple of squirts. And then really make sure that's all mixed in with your quark and melted peanut butter. So it's kind of gone into kind of a sticky chocolatey consistency. So the next thing we're going to do is pop in a little bit of water to make it a little bit runny before we add our chocolate whey protein. So really give it a good mix so all the cocoa is mixed in. Again, because we're trying to keep it fairly low carb, we're just using a pure whey protein, which is chocolate flavoured, and we're going to put about 80 grams in. When we're using protein, we've obviously got to put quite a lot of water in it, as the protein is dehydrated. You don't have to use chocolate, it's nice with vanilla or strawberry as well. So we're just going to pop that in, and with that adds a little bit of water so it's easier to mix. And give it a good stir so it's all mixed in, and a fairly runny consistency, because when we pop it in the oven it obviously dries out a bit. And you want it to be a nice smooth consistency with no lumps in it. So now we've got our nice smooth rich chocolatey mixture, we're just going to add a tiny little bit of baking powder just so we get a bit of rise in our brownie bars. So literally about half a teaspoon will do. And just shake that in. And mix it in. We probably added about 100 to 150 millilitres of water. Obviously if you wanted to increase the calories a little bit, I think this makes the 6 bars equal about 200 calories each, but obviously you could put some almond flour in or use all peanut butter. If you wanted to decrease the calories a little bit, just take the peanut butter out completely and pop in quark, decrease the amount of cocoa you've got in, just modify the recipe slightly. And finally, as our mixture's starting to cool down, we can pop in 2 eggs. So we're just going to break them straight into the mixture. 1, 2. And now just really mix them in, give it a good whisk. And this really makes the mixture light and fluffy and will hopefully add to the rice. So as you can see, it's all mixed in. Quite a lot of mixture, and we're going to bake it today in a loaf tray. So we preheated our oven to about 150 to 180 degrees, and it's only going to take about 10 to 15 minutes because we still want them a little bit squidgy in the middle, like a normal brownie would be. Obviously you can add whatever you want to it, coconuts, if you want to increase the carbs, you can put dried fruit and things like that. So all we're going to do now is just pop it into our pre-lined tray. Right, so the camera ran out of battery before, but literally all I did was tipping the mixture into the loaf tray and popped it in the oven at 180 degrees for about 15 minutes this time. I've turned the oven off and it smells just like a normal brownie, so we're going to take it out. Pop it on there, and all we're going to do now is just lift it gently out of the tray, and we're going to just leave it to cool on the cooling rack before we take the foil off, and we'll leave it to cool for about 20 minutes, and then we can chop it up. Right, so our brownie's now mostly cooled. We've taken all the foil off, so all we need to do now is chop it up and pop it on a plate. So I just put it on our chopping board. We're going to chop it into about 6 pieces. So you've got 1. As you can see, it's still a bit hot. Just take that one and pop it on your plate. And there you are, you've got about 20 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and there's about 9 grams of fat in there, all for about 200 calories.